this why he moved up?
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
Okay, so I've been questioning for some time why Dyson Daniels moved up so far in a lot of mock drafts that I've seen. If you haven't heard, currently he is sitting at 9th with the San Antonio Spurs grabbing him, and this could completely just be conspiracy on my part, right? But I'm starting to realize why he might have been at 9th. Now, before we get into that, I just want to let you guys know I am going through every single one of these players. I don't know a lot about Dyson Daniels, so this isn't going to necessarily be a complete breakdown like I've been doing with a lot of other players. So just bear with me. I'm going to get to them, but we're going through every single person in this, and I'm doing it at random. So if you guys give me any suggestions, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but like at least check and see if I already did that player. Or look, I'm going to eventually get to them anyway. So let's talk about this. Dyson Daniels straight up said that he wants to play for the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, it was no ifs or buts about this. So yes, listen to it. And just keep in mind that he names a few teams, but he really just named the Spurs. If you really listen to him, he's just talking about the Spurs. So let's go ahead and listen.
And I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but is there a team in mind that you're going like, I could fit into that team next year?
I think probably like Sacramento, Spurs. I think, teams that, maybe need a bit of, guard, like a guard that's going to help them, and teams that, play a team system as well.
Team system. I don't know. I just want to say team system. I don't know what's going on. We do crazy stuff over here. Okay.
Look at, those two type of teams like the Spurs, the Warriors, the Kings. It's just to name a few. They play more of a team style. Greg Popovich has been the coach for however many years, and he's played the same style. So I know that if I play in that team, I'm going to benefit because that's the style I like to play. That's the style I'll fit in with. And I think, whatever team picks me up on the day, I'm gonna be happy with, because my dream as a kid was to be in the NBA. But there's a few teams that I could probably say I'll probably fit better with them. But at the end of the day, being in the NBA, you gotta work to earn your spot in there anyway. And I think that's the main thing, just staying humble and putting in the work every day to be.
Okay, so I let him finish on his little soliloquy, okay? Because I wanted to talk about this. Now, can we just do something really quickly? Can we stop talking about Popovich retiring? Can we just stop? Because at this point, he's kind of our driving force right now. I'll be honest. Chris Paul was, I don't know if you guys know this, he was originally really contemplating coming to the San Antonio Spurs. And the only reason he didn't come to the Spurs is because he thought Popovich was retiring. So can people stop saying Popovich leave, Popovich go? We are a small market team, and Popovich is the driving force for anybody. If you're coming to San Antonio, you're thinking, oh my goodness, I get to learn under Pop. I'm going to learn so much information. He's a good guy, and this is going to be so good for my career. That's what you're thinking, and that's what Dyson Daniels is thinking. Now, like I said, I didn't go through a lot of in-depth research, but we will look at his stats, and it's one thing in particular that I do want to bring up that I just found interesting on him. But when we actually do a breakdown of his game and how I feel about him, then we'll definitely get into that. So first and foremost, stats. This is the showcase 2021-22. 11.3 points. Let's see, 45% from field goal percentage, 25% or near 26%. 3-point percentage, and as we can see here, rebounding pretty decent with 6. And then we have 4.4 assists, 2.4 turnovers, not great. Sitting at the guard spot, not great, but 1.9 steals and 0.8 blocks. And like I said, I'm going to get more into his game and we're going to talk about him more, but this is just kind of surface level. And let's just do the pros and cons really quickly. So this isn't good because usually in my breakdown videos, I go in blind, but now this one time I can't go into blind because I'm about to read it now. But pros: decent scorer off the dribble, can post up smaller players, excels at scoring on off-ball and motion plays, solid playmaker, moves fairly well off the ball on offense, solid rebounder for his size, adequate defender that can get steals, solid athlete. Cons: need to improve his shooting, prone to hoisting up questionable shots, can play too wildly on offense, unselfish to a fault. That's Pop likes that. Can be undisciplined defensively. Pop don't like that. Need to add strength. And then this is what I wanted to go over. So I found this interesting nonetheless. So this is what he had to say as far as people that he's learning from. So offensively, I've been watching SGA and Luka Doncic. I like the way that they use their change of pace, creating creative passing and basketball IQ to read the game and make teammates better. Defensively, I look at Mikal Bridges, Alex Caruso, Thibault, and Lonzo Ball. I like how they get over screens, read, and impact the game. Personally, I want to play my role at a high level, helping a team win with my winning mentality and competing every possession on both ends. Now, I just have some initial thoughts. It's just initial, not necessarily, saying that this is the end all be all, okay, when it comes to Dyson Daniels, because it's not, because I don't know a ton about him. I love his mentality, but it's also not necessarily what we need right now. And I'm going to look more into him. Okay, so guys, don't get crazy in the comments, but when he says that he's a guy that really just want to fit into a system, and I've seen quite a few other things on him where he is just straight up saying, yeah, I want to play my role. And that's great. Like, I love that. Okay, I love that in a player. And that doesn't mean that just because he's saying that he wants to play his role, that he'll eventually just be a role player. That doesn't mean that, and I'm going to look more into it. But as it stands right now, just from what I'm reading, I'm not crazy about that. Even from this interview, I love that he wants to play for the Spurs, but at the same time, we don't need a role player. Like, we need way more than that. Now, I'm high on Primo. I'm like super high on Primo, okay? I truly believe Primo will become a superstar. That's my take. I will stand by that. But at the same time, if I was making decisions for the San Antonio Spurs and I was in the front office, our franchise would suck, because at the end of the day, I'm a fan. And when I say that Josh Primo is going to be a superstar, if the front office truly believed that, then they would just go after role players and build around them. And I don't think that that's necessary yet. I don't think he's shown enough for the front office to do that, even though I personally believe he will be a star. So with that being said, just overall, the most ideal, logical thing to do is to go after a guy that can just create their own shot. A guy that you don't really have many doubts whether or not they're going to go into this team and take over or be that guy, right? So I believe that Shaedon Sharpe would be that. I could be wrong, but I believe Shaedon Sharpe can be that. I believe guys like Sohan can potentially be that. He's very raw, but I think he could potentially be that. Even Jalen Duren. I know a lot of Spurs fans want Jalen Duren. Even I feel that he might be a guy that could potentially be that. So it's quite a few guys that I like. Eason going so low in the draft is insane to me, but even Eason's a guy in that category as well. So right now, from the people that I know, Benedict as well, sorry, but the people that I know thus far, I don't necessarily think that that's what we need, even though that's great for him to be honest, open, and say that he wants to play for a team that needs, a guy that come in and just play winning basketball. Love it. Not necessarily what we need, but I can't necessarily just make an overall judgment of him until I genuinely look into his game and see what he's all about. So you guys let me know, what do you think about Dyson Daniels? Is he worth it? Is he not? Especially at that 9th spot. Just let me know what you think, but I'll get with you guys later, man. Until next time, deuces. Oh yeah, if you want to support the channel, $2 a month, Patreon, YouTube members. Goodbye.